Yeah. So, I mean, just to update people on what we do with that. So, we get sent a lot of guys who have stuttering priapisms, like Andrew has had, where they're on often some of the standard medication and it hasn't done the job you would have expected it to do, or they've had complications from the medication. And we do nighttime oxygen saturation studies on patients, and if we find them to be hypoxic at nighttime, we put them onto nighttime oxygen, and it can make a transformatory difference to a lot of patients. And so in your experience, what happened with you with oxygen therapy, to the frequency and the number of times you were getting the priapism? What happened to that?
I know it sounds cliche, but oxygen changed my life. Honestly, I became a new person. I was waking up, without pain, the aching behind my eyes. I was waking up without the headaches. I was waking up feeling more refreshed, more energetic. I was experiencing less priapism. I would say I would have priapism, I'd say maybe once or twice a week. And if I had it on those days, they were probably the nights that I'd forgot to sort of put my oxygen on because I'm just so shattered I'd fall asleep.
Yeah.
So compared to, because also as well, I forgot to mention that I was also started on tadalafil as well after the atilophrin didn't work and the tadalafil didn't work too. So, having tried these different medicines, but then coming to oxygen, it sort of revolutionized how, I was able to sort of really, get my life back. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just for some people in the audience, the tadalafil is sometimes used as a second-line therapy. There's a theory that you get this paradoxical control of nocturnal stuttering episodes by giving PD5 inhibitors because of the dysregulated PD pathway, and so it can re-regulate it by giving low-dose treatment. And so we do use that in sickle cell disease, but it didn't seem to work in your case. Tell me, you went from a situation of having 5 nights of what sounds like absolutely terrible sleep, and for 5 years chronically tired. And then once you managed to get things under control, it must have changed your daytimes as well.
It did. I was, increased my performance at work. I was, before, when I wasn't on oxygen, if I needed to call in sick at work, I couldn't tell them I was having priapism. This just wasn't something I could tell my line manager, who, for example, was a female. So I couldn't, it was very difficult for me to communicate that this is what I was suffering. This is why, I'm, tired in the morning. So I'll just put it down as a crisis, because that was, all they understood. But the intricacies, they just wouldn't understand. So it definitely reduced the amount of times I needed to sort of, call in sick and say I couldn't really attend because, from exhaustion of waking up at night. So having the oxygen, going down to 1 episode and 2 episodes a week was, it was a dramatic shift. And the other thing I'd say, even when I do have those episodes once or twice a week, I'm not doing, the rigorous exercise. These are episodes that as soon as I sort of get up, it sort of just, resolves by itself. And I don't have to do sort of, strenuous exercise at all.
Yeah.